This is a photo of Paul Revere, who is an American patriot and is famous for his patriotism during the American Revolution. I will be reviewing him on my video analysis on the poem Paul Revere's Ride. I analyzed the poem Paul Revere's Ride by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which was written in 1860. Paul Revere was a famous patriot in the American Revolution. His infamous ride was not very famous until the depiction of the situation through the poem that Longfellow wrote, titled Paul Revere's Ride, and I got this information from history.com. The poem is made up of 14 stanzas and features several different rhyme schemes throughout the poem. The poem begins by providing us with historical context about the event, and then the poem begins describing that people must be warned that the British are arriving. After we discover there must be a warning sent out, we find out that the British are spotted arriving by boat and that the footsteps of their soldiers can be heard nearby. Another civilian then goes up to the church tower and hangs a lamp, but then goes and tells everybody in the camp in the local town that everything is all right. Meanwhile, Paul Revere is standing on a local shore and spots the lamp hanging on the church. After he spots the lamp hanging on the church, he decides to go get on his horse and ride through the towns. After we learn that Paul Revere has been riding through towns, warning people about the British, we then learn the general story about what we all know of farmers fighting the redcoats. The poem is then wrapped up by the author stating the significance of Paul Revere showing no fear and being brave by riding through the towns and warning people of the British. The poem shows a common theme of defiance and bravery throughout fear and not letting fear affect how you're acting. And this shows through the actions of Paul Revere in the poem written by Longfellow in 1860. I enjoyed reading this poem because it provides an interesting historical event through a poem, and I enjoyed the rhyme scheme that is featured throughout the poem. I think that reading this poem is better than reading a textbook about this event, and that I would recommend you to read this too.